You know, a lot of people have been asking me to do this since I made a few wrestling-related videos on my main channel. And on the contrary, I've had some people tell me to stay in my lane when making those videos. Well, if you know me at all, or if you come to know me at some point, you understand that I give the people who support me exactly what they want. And to everyone else, I guess you're just gonna have to get used to me being in your lane. Let's discuss. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past 24 hours, I have officially crossed something off my bucket list that I've wanted to do since I was 5 years old. And I did that thing in the most epic way possible. I attended Wrestlemania Night 2 in Philadelphia, and it was easily the most memorable experiences of my life.
Give me a hell yeah!
As someone who grew up on professional wrestling, I can't really describe to you the feeling I had being in that stadium and witnessing what we just witnessed. It feels like professional wrestling is back, and my love for the art form has recently been reinvigorated. I cannot remember the last time I was this emotionally invested in a WrestleMania, or in WWE for that matter. This show truly felt like a changing of the tides, a shift into a new direction, into a new era, and I'm here for it. It all started for me with the build to WrestleMania, when The Rock returned and initially stole Cody Rhodes' spot, only for the fan reaction to make them pivot away from that plan almost immediately. And what we ended up getting, in my opinion, was an even better story.
I don't believe it!
We had The Rock reinventing himself once again and embracing this final boss character that he created. And on top of that, he was joining forces with the ultimate villain, that being Roman Reigns. And what that did in effect is stack the odds even more against Cody Rhodes finishing his story. They gave Cody's story more adversity in the last 2 months than they've given it in the entire 2-year build. And at WrestleMania Night 2, the payoff was so satisfying because of it. Now, I don't know how it came off on TV, but from what I saw being there, the crowd absolutely erupted when Cody Rhodes finally won. It felt like the entire stadium let out this collective sigh of relief, while simultaneously giving everyone this injection of adrenaline that made you feel like you had to stand up on your feet and cheer at the top of your lungs. This was the right decision. This was the only decision they could have made. This is a WrestleMania moment that will go down as one of the greatest ever. And that's because of the story that was being told. Now, I know there are some people out there who feel like Roman Reigns shouldn't have lost. And I would say to those people, I think it was time. To me, there was nothing else that Roman Reigns could have really done with that title. And he deserves a lot of credit for the way he elevated that title to the point where Cody's victory meant so much more. You can't have a great hero without a great villain, and Roman Reigns played the part of the villain to perfection. But it was time, and the WWE needed a full-time champion moving forward into the new era. And I can't think of a better person to lead that movement other than Cody Rhodes. For those of you who believe that Cody has nothing as a character now that he has finished the story, and you tried to use that as justification for why you believe that he should have lost, I would respond to those people and say, just like every other world champion before him, there's still some story to be told.
No, don't like that.
Are we going to sit here and act like title defenses aren't a real thing? Like there's not other stories to be told with Cody as champion? Stories with CM Punk? Stories with Randy Orton? Stories with AJ Styles? And that's just naming a few people. Of course, as always with professional wrestling, it's going to depend on how they book him. But after Night 2, I have a lot of confidence in what Triple H is doing creatively, and I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. And Roman Reigns is not done either. Triple H said last night in the press conference that his story is just beginning as well. Now, does that mean adversity in the bloodline? Probably. But now we can have a proper build to the inevitable Roman Reigns and Rock feud that they tried to rush into this year. The truth is that the results of WrestleMania open up a lot more doors creatively than they shut.
That makes sense.
Now, I'm not going to talk much about Night 1 in this video because honestly, I was underwhelmed by most of it. That just goes to show you that there are still things to be fixed and not everything is perfect. But to me, Night 2 was far and away superior in every sense of the word. They kicked off Night 2 by actually making me give a shit about a Damian Priest cash-in. Something that I was very skeptical of throughout his duration of holding the Money in the Bank contract. I just didn't see him as world champion material. I still don't know if I'm 100% there yet. But the way that they pulled it off was the absolute perfect way to do it, and the only way that it probably would have worked. Having CM Punk screw over Drew McIntyre after Drew took his spot and then trolled him about it over the past several weeks. It was pure gold. Clearly we are heading towards a Punk versus McIntyre match when Punk is healthy, and I do think that Drew McIntyre will win the title back before that match happens. And props to Drew McIntyre because I believe that he's been doing some of the best work of his career lately. He deserved his moment of winning the world title in front of a live crowd, even if it was short-lived. Just the fact that he had it ripped away from him so abruptly, I can't imagine what this is going to do to evolve his character as it makes him more bitter and angry. LA Knight versus AJ Styles was decent as well. I do think that they need to do something more substantial with LA Knight very soon. And by that I mean getting him involved in some kind of title picture. Because it doesn't feel like they've truly capitalized on him being as over as he currently is. So I do hope that he moves into something of a little more importance soon. But I did think his work with AJ Styles was very entertaining. The triple threat match for the US title was set up nicely. I love how they set up their relationship early in the match, only to have it break down, and then Logan Paul swoop in and steal the win. It was predictable in my opinion, but the crowd was hot for the match and there was a lot of great spots contained within it. I also love the little wrinkle of storytelling of having Sami Zayn greet Kevin Owens as he went out to the ring. Even if you thought that Logan would win, which I did, that moment planted a little seed of doubt in my mind, simply because of how things played out the night before when Sami beat Gunther. So it was good on them to keep you guessing just a little bit to a certain extent. The Bayley versus Io match was the match that I was least interested in all night. If I'm being honest, the build was decent, but at no point did this ever feel like a big time match to me. But the right person won, the fans popped for it, and I think Bayley definitely deserved this moment. And then comes the main event, and I've already talked about the results, but the journey to get there is what contributed to it being so special. What I really liked about this match is that they allowed Cody and Roman to have a match uninterrupted before the f***ery started. And once the inevitable run-in started, it was overbooked as can be, but I enjoyed every single second of it. We had every member of the Bloodline get involved, only to have someone come out and defend Cody's honor at each turn. The story going into this match is that Roman could not win by himself. He always had help in retaining his title, so when Cody said that I can't do this by myself a few weeks ago, he meant it. And he was talking about more than just fan support. He also obviously needed physical help in the match itself. Jey Uso, John Cena, The Undertaker, and Seth Rollins all came out to lend Cody a hand. In a lot of ways, it felt like the more current guys like Jay and Seth were there because they were just tired of Roman's shit. And the older guys felt like they were there to defend the honor of the title at the 40th WrestleMania.
Not up in here!
Not up in here!
Oh.
My only gripe, and this is minor, but I feel like Stone Cold should have been in the spot that Undertaker was in. Because of the history between Stone Cold and The Rock, it felt like that would have made a lot more sense. The Undertaker's inclusion felt random and like he was a placeholder because they couldn't get Austin for whatever reason. But if you're going to have someone fill in, there's no better person than The Undertaker. This all led to Cody hitting Roman with 3 crossroads and getting the pinfall victory. And this whole moment when it happened live felt very surreal to me. Most of us wanted Cody to finish his story, but in the back of our minds we were thinking, is it possible that they would continue Roman's reign just so he can break some records.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
Cody winning was the more logical choice here, and in the grand scheme of things, that record doesn't mean shit. This was the moment we needed to usher in this new era. The Renaissance era, the Triple H era, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is, I'm here for it. Professional wrestling is getting back to what it does best, and that's telling stories. You see, the in-ring stuff is just part of the equation, and Triple H has the knowledge, creativity, and awareness to understand that. If you make people give a shit and give them a reason to tune in every single week, that's how you will undo the damage done to this industry over the past several years.
Y'all be cool. Shut up.